I must be quiet here for a minute because I'm disappointed in people. And I'm going to be mentioning some big name people, but I've been noticing in the comments section some people losing their ability to think critically. Some people who are just now drinking the Kool-Aid. Now, Kamala Harris, her campaign website, as it stands right now, because anything could change, so I want to be very careful with this, currently has no policies on it. Now, anything can happen between now and when this video is clipped, fine. And when those policies are available, I'll actually do a segment on it. But until then, hey, Fat Tony, Cenk Uygur, Dime Store Eminem, Kyle Kalinske, AOC, and so many other progressives, air quote. You know, you do have a large social following, but I'm rather surprised how quick you guys are into now jumping on board with the Democratic Party. Because I'm always surprised how quick they jump on board. It's just, I know it's to be expected, and all of you are saying, well, gee, Kit, why are you always surprised? Because they always move so super fast. It's like so super fast, and it's just like, wow. You don't even take time to craft your statements or how you're going to present yourself to people. Because now all of them, including people like Nina Turner, and yes, I'm sorry to say this, even Jesse Ventura, are quick to support people like Tim Walz and, of course, Kamala Harris. So I just want to pull this up here. First of all, we're going to start off with something easy. That's right. We're going to do a whole big course meal, right? Nina Turner, important quote from Tim Walz last year. Right now, Minnesota is showing the country you don't win elections to bank political capital. You win elections to burn political capital, improve lives. This is a type of thinking that leads to political courage. Well, whoop-dee-doo, political courage. Political courage indeed. Well, when she says political courage like that, you know, I just got to pull this up here. Words, end the genocide. This is what he said after passing progressive policies in his state. So not just words. That being said, the ticket must be better on Gaza, supporting an arms embargo. Two things can be true at the same time. Oh, God. You know, but hey, this is why I love my audience. I don't know if she's in the chat right now, but get up for Notori Lee. You fake AB. People like me knew this months ago. This tweet, you a dummy B. Thank you. Because, by the way, folks, I will give you some glimpses of light, some glimpses of hope. Hope, I know, hope, the audacity of hope, especially for this entire madness that we are sitting through. This entire madness of quote-unquote progressives now cheerleading for somebody like Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, who actually stand for nothing. Because when we talk about political courage, okay, let's talk about political courage. Let's talk about what it means to be courageous. Let's talk about what it means to really stand for something, to believe in something. And I just want to pull up this little tweet here from Easy Street because it is very well apropos about courage. Let's talk about courage because courage is the watchword. Courage is the word that will get us through the day. Tim Walz, running mate for Kamala Harris. Oh, hey. All right. There he is. He's right there. Okay. Simple enough. On October 7th, Tim Walz ordered Minnesota flags to fly at half-mast in support of Israel, saying the United States and Israel are united by a shared commitment to democracy, economic prosperity, and regional security. We will continue to stand in solidarity with Minnesota's Jewish and Israeli community and work with the State Department to ensure the safety of Minnesotans at home and abroad. Uncommitted voters. You know, as it stands right now, a lot of you got some delegates. You know, you at least got some 30-odd delegates. Do you really think that the Kamala Walz ticket is going to listen to you? Again, want to pull this up here too. Tim Walz visited Israel in 2009 and later in 2010 at the annual AIPAC conference. Once said, especially now, hold on, when there is a little tension in the relationship, it's important to hear what people are thinking. Israel is our truest and closest ally in the region, with a commitment to values of personal freedoms and liberties, surrounded by a pretty tough neighborhood. Even though Israel's talking about maybe doing strikes in Iran and Lebanon. Yes, I know it's both sides back and forth fighting. Hey, it's fighting that's been going on for centuries. Why don't we just use diplomacy? Maybe call for a ceasefire. But oh, wait, that's not going to happen because all of Congress is bought. All of Congress is owned. But don't worry, folks. Sorry to third-party enthusiasts, but the Tim Walz selection ends any chance that the third-party candidates can pick up significant number of votes from the left. Thank you, Fat Tony. Where have you been all our lives, right? Because give it up for Fat Tony, Cenk Uygur, the one guy who can get things done, right? The one guy who could show us how to lead and be a hero. But the thing is, folks, you know, I just want to just pull this up here. Now, this video came out in October 27th of 2022. You know, and I get it. Hey, Jesse Ventura, he could stand whoever he could fight for whoever he wants to, but my goodness, Jesse, are you aware of just Tim, or do you just don't care anymore?
Hello, Minnesotans. Former Governor Jesse Ventura here. As an independent statesman, I don't believe in the major political parties. Since leaving office, I've rarely endorsed a candidate for office in Minnesota of any political persuasion. But this election is too important. That's why I'm endorsing Governor Tim Walz for re-election.
Now, again, this took place in 2022. 2022. It's all this stuff surrounding Tim Walz already.
Tim has shown through the last few years how important strong leadership is for our state. When COVID-19 hit, Tim was there to keep our state safe. That's the governor's most important job. Tim has proved he does what's right for Minnesota, not what is politically easy. Minnesota faces a choice this election, and we're at a crossroads. That's why I'm taking the unprecedented step to endorse Tim. Our democracy is under attack. Almost 2 years ago.
Just a trigger to liberals. We have a constitutional republic. Got it? Good.
The former president and his cronies spread the big lie, sent sedationists to invade the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021 to stop the certification of ballots in the election of President Joe Biden. I took an oath 50 years ago as a Navy SEAL to defend this country. I can't stand with anyone or any party who cannot condemn the January 6th insurrection. And now women's rights are under attack across this country.
Wow. But you think Kamala actually gives a damn about women's rights, especially when she was in the Senate? You think any of them do? By the way, and this is a direct message to women voters. None of the women politicians care about you. Okay, they don't. They don't care. They don't care. They had decades to codify Roe v. Wade. They didn't do a damn thing. Nancy Pelosi, even Dianne Feinstein, Kamala, when they were serving in the Senate, House Representatives, all that good stuff, they didn't lift a finger. They didn't. And again, I want to be very clear. This video that I'm playing came out in 2022. But it should show you, folks, it should show you that a lot of people give up their ability to think critically when it comes down to Trump derangement syndrome. Because Donald Trump is somehow the big old bad boogeyman.
Here in Minnesota, Tim is committed to standing up for the rights of women to access abortion and reproductive health care. Minnesota has long, proud history of having the highest voter participation in the country. We've got to keep that streak alive. So get out to the polls and cast your vote.
Yes, cast your vote. Cast your vote indeed. But also what I find funny here too, I've heard some version of this countless times today, including from my sister just now. Today, for the first time in a long time, I have hope. Well, hope in one hand and crap in the other. See which one fills up faster. To which I will always add in my favorite Warhammer 40K quote, and that is, hope is the first path to disappointment. And it is. Truly, it is. Because when we look at Kamala, what does she stand for? What is she about? So who else better to talk about it than the biggest cheerleader for the Democratic establishment? You know her. You love her. AOC.
Including independent Senator Joe Manchin, and from the left, by Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She joins us now only on CBS Mornings, and we're glad to have you here.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. Let's talk about the rave reviews that Governor Walz seems to be getting from all spectrums of your party. You've got Nancy Pelosi on one side, Joe Manchin. We have the progressives on the left. What does this mean? What does this say? It's been a long time since we've seen this kind of reaction.
Yeah, well, I think first and foremost, it says that Governor Walz is a uniter, that Vice President Harris is picking.
Like nails on a board. I'm so sorry. You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And unfortunately, I guess once again, the prophet Cat Williams was right. What he said in that infamous interview, that all lies will be revealed. The prophet Cat Williams. Much love to you. Who knew? Mr. Beast's downfall, possibly, maybe that's in the works. You got politicians being revealed for being hack fraud losers. You got celebrity scandal after celebrity scandal. Rap beefs blowing up in people's faces. Ask Drake how he's doing, because he ain't all right, folks. All lies will be revealed. And it turns out the biggest lie, too, AOC, who was once the progressive darling, become Nancy Pelosi 2.0.
A uniter for not just the Democratic Party, but for the entire United States. And that this selection of a ticket between Vice President Harris and Governor Walz is that we are seeing every American, rural America, suburban America, urban America, regardless of identity, that we want to see your interests and we want to make sure that the things that are most important to you, putting food on the table, lowering rent and mortgages, that we see the needs of everyday Americans and we're going to fight and see them in Washington.
But you don't ever do that. So why do you keep saying it? It's like, hey, I know you're hungry. And I know right now you're chained to my basement, but I got a full refrigerator here just for you. You just got to reach it. And AOC there just laughing as she has a key in her hand. That's all. So while we're all starving, while we're all struggling, they're just laughing like, yep, we're going to do all these great things. I promise. I totally promise.
Already the Republicans are saying, you've heard this, he's a screaming liberal, progressive. People hear the word Congresswoman progressive, and it's like, it's very scary to a lot of people.
Because you let them make it scary, AOC, and you let corporate media do that to you. I can't believe how many again, I remember how many times early on in Hardlands media when we would defend people like AOC and other progressives when corporate media was going after you. They weren't being your friend. And now here she is smiling at the very same entities that smeared and slandered progressive supporters and volunteers and candidates. And somehow progressives, there are a couple progressives now who are just happy to play along with this. So many people who are now, oh yeah, maybe I'll vote for Kamala and good old Walz, Tim Walz. If they don't deliver on anything, don't bitch to me. Don't cry.
People. What does it mean to you, without talking points, in a sentence, what it means to you? And do you think your support helps or hurts the ticket at this particular time? It's certainly in the middle of the country.
Yeah, well, I think progressive means the following. Most Americans believe that money in politics has an outsized role in what happens in government. And to me, being a progressive means putting the needs of working families ahead of the needs of profit and of special interests and corporations. And so that translates into what we see in Governor Walz and the priorities of Vice President Harris, like expanding healthcare, universal school lunches, things that we care about when we're packing lunch in the morning and picking up our kids at home. And so to me, that is what progressive means, is putting the needs of everyday people ahead of the needs of special interests in Washington.
Wow. Where was that energy in 2021 when Colin and Frank were calling you out? When they said, hey, what comes after? What do we have to do? What do you need us to do? But what did AOC do? She didn't give an answer. She said, let's dance, everybody. Woo, let's dance. Everybody, let's dance. And she's going to say the same thing. I'm betting that there's going to be a dance number at the DNC convention in Chicago. Now, I don't know if we'll get inside the convention center. We will try. We may not succeed, but I'm willing to bet that there's going to be a dance number, and AOC is going to be on the stage dancing too. I see it. I see something that stupid happening. Maybe Ben Stiller will be there, a simple Jack.
So let me ask you about the other candidates that were potentially in the running to be her choice for vice president, including Governor Josh Shapiro. There are some who are suggesting that the reason why the vice president didn't pick Governor Shapiro is because of anti-Semitism. And I did see Chuck Schumer clap back at one Republican or person who's on the right, suggesting that Democrats are anti-Semitic. And Chuck Schumer, obviously, at the very top of power in the Democratic Party as far as the Senate is concerned.
Sometimes my audience can be just too mean. Who taught you to talk like this, Austin? Is it possible, AOC, that you're completely full of shite? Prim 54. This is what a sellout looks like. Matthew, the entire coconut thing is cringe. P. Wayne Smith, you know what? That is funny, but you are shooting way above her, man. Future analysis on CNN. Nah, man. That's a bridge too far. You're being too kind. You're a good person, man. P. Wade Smith. Hey, after the show, look yourself in the mirror and be like, yeah, I am a good person. You're being kind there. Don't you know? Don't you know she can't analyze things? What's wrong with you? Being mean like that. Come on. And Black Zen, good friend of the show. The left couldn't wait to sell out Palestinians and jump behind imperialists. Yeah, oh my goodness. Who taught my audience to be this mean? I know it wasn't by me. I know I taught all of you guys better.
Yeah, I mean, we have Chuck Schumer, who is an incredible leader in the United States Senate. Vice President Harris is married to Doug Emhoff, who has been a profoundly a wonderful figure, who is also Jewish. I think it has nothing to do with that. Vice President Harris had a very challenging, she had a challenge before in that we have so much talent in the Democratic Party.
Oh, man, AOC, by the way, horrible time to pause for her, but my goodness, this is what progressives are going to be selling us for the next 3 months. August, September, October. To my viewing audience, please don't rage out and punch your screens. Don't throw your phones to the ground. You are about to be bombarded with a huge wave of not only pro-Kamala progressive talking points, but also the vote blue no matter who people. They're coming on out and be like, if you don't support Kamala, that means you're racist and a bad, bad person. Get ready for it, folks. The bullying is going to be amplified. Get ready to push back. Get ready to push back. Boot up and suit up, folks. Get ready for some of your best insults, but don't be too mean. You might hurt somebody's feelings.
From Governor Shapiro to Governor Walz to many other people that she had to consider. I think that Governor Walz has many different assets that he brings to the table. And I trust her decision in making one that is best for not just the Democratic Party, but again, the entire country.
There is no mention of the war in Israel and Gaza right now. Do you think that was deliberate? Do you think that there's...
Yeah, kind of. Because you want to know why? They're hoping that people will forget about it. War in Gaza? What are you talking about? There is no war in Ba Sing Se. There is no fifth chaos god. There are no war crimes in Gaza. Bassem Youssef was right. Oh, God, and I don't want him to be right, but he's right. Israel's going to get away with this, folks. To all you latte drinking liberals out there, I know a lot of you have always said that, oh, if I was alive during World War II, I would have hid the Nazis from the Jews. If I was alive during the Civil War era, I would have been one of the good white people and helped free the slaves. No, you wouldn't have. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You want to know how you would act during those time frames? Those points in time? You're doing it now. You're doing it now. You're doing it now. And before anyone says, well, gee, kid, if you were alive during those times, what would you do? I don't know. I wouldn't be who I am now. Civil War era, World War II era, modern era here. I would have been a completely different person. And somebody would say, well, what if you time traveled? I would try and get home. Anyways, enough science fiction. again, you don't want to mess up the timeline.
That should have been mentioned or come up in some way?
Well,
last
you know,
night?
I think that this is certainly an issue that's important to many Americans. They're going to want to ensure that we continue our efforts towards a ceasefire in the region, and I'm sure that this discussion will come up certainly between now and November. But we also have a wide scope of issues as well that she has to address, and I think we saw a lot of that addressed last night, including when Governor Walz was addressing issues like IVF and choice, as well as many other issues that are at the top of people's minds right now.
Now, I'm not going to subject you guys to more madness. All right. Maybe for another time, because you guys suffered enough. You guys are good people. And I love my audience. And I think it's time for a little bit of a palate cleanser. Okay. You need a palate cleanser. Okay. Because I want to pull up this wonderful person. One of the dauntless few. Give it up for Sappy Sabs. By the way, Dan Burr, there is a war on poor people right here at home. The reason why we're losing so bad is because most people deny that it's happening. That's right. You're not losing your home. You're not working 2 or 3 jobs, and you're not being hurt on the inside. Kamala still has no policy platform on her website. There's no black agenda. There's no Medicare for all, but she wants you to focus on democracy, the same democracy that selected her as a nominee. By the way, what's it like knowing that this quote-unquote nominee was selected not by the people, but by the party? So I'll pull this up here.
Project 2025 is proof. If Donald Trump wins in November, he will continue to attack equality, take away freedoms, and undermine our democracy.
Just like what's happening now. No big difference. No big difference whatsoever. But I do want to pull up some funny things right here because, hey, it's important to talk about policy. Swing state voters can't name any accomplishments for Kamala.
We asked Georgians what they thought of Kamala Harris and her accomplishments. Let's watch some of her accomplishments.
Well, I mean, she was a district attorney.
I would say, well, so I graduated Howard and her district attorney time in San Francisco. I think she has a pretty good record.
Well, she's done actually a really good job of getting the South Americans to look for jobs to keep people in the border.
You mean other than being DA in California and then going on and being vice president?
Not really. I can't really name any accomplishments. I know she is a decorated DA out of California.
Can you name a few of her accomplishments?
No. No, I can't.
What are some of her accomplishments?
I will say that everything that I've seen, I don't think that, no.
I honestly don't think she has any. The 4 years that she was in office as vice president, I didn't hear her speak once until like last week. So that's kind of my take on it.
Hey, but don't worry. We got Dime Store M&M. Look, Mommy, I tweeted. Republicans are reaching levels of cooked we haven't seen since FDR. What do you mean by cooked?
Up with in the heartland, JD studied at Yale. Had his career funded by Silicon Valley billionaires, and then wrote a bestseller trashing that community. Come on. That's not what middle America is. And I got to tell you, I can't wait to debate the guy.
This is what caused people to hype up. This is what caused people to go crazy.
That is if he's willing to get off the couch and show up. So.
That's one of those things that progressives are harping on now. He made fun of JD Vance. Look, progressives, for the moment right now, momentum is on your side. But the longer we wait, in regards to getting an update on, I don't know, this little thing right here, getting policy. I mean, hopefully we could see it sooner or later. But I want to let all of you know, be prepared to be disappointed in some of your favorite actors and actresses and commentators. Be prepared to see the bullying happen again, in which the Vote Blue No Matter Who crowd is now coming out en masse, because here's a campaign website. Look at that. Look at that. Money. Asking for money. Always asking for the dollars. But progressives, Cenk, AOC, Kyle, Nina Turner, and everybody else that's right now putting their heads so far up the Democrats' wazoo, where is policy? Where is the platform? I did a segment on this yesterday's show. You got Meet Kamala, Meet Tim, Take Action, Store. All right, let's go ahead and check out the store. Let's check out the store here real quick. Hold on here. You got the Harris hat. You got all this stuff. Look at this. Look at all this merch. Look at all this merch. Look at all this merch right here. Isn't that hilarious? Where can we get anything? But look at all this. All this merch right here for everybody to see. That's all they got. That's all they got for you. Merch, and they're asking for money. There's no incentive for people to vote, except FAQs, such as, where did my money go? What's going to happen with the donation? All this is about money. It's always about the dollars. So, folks, get ready to see your favorite commentators and everybody else, people who you might respect, once again get the bug of Vote Blue No Matter Who. Now, can Kamala and Tim win this? Depends on voter turnout. It's 50-50. It's up in the air. Who can inspire more people to turn out to vote? But the thing is, time is running out for Kamala and Tim, because the honeymoon stage will end. And after the DNC convention, people are going to be expecting a debate. People are going to be expecting some kind of confrontation between Trump and Kamala. People are going to be expecting some kind of full statement or town hall from Kamala or Tim. It needs to happen. Voter turnout will be key. Democrats, right now you're getting all this hype because of the algorithm, because right now it's no longer doom and gloom because you have a senile old goat running the show, which, by the way, is Joe Biden even running the show? Who knows anymore? But we have a system of unchecked corruption, and all of our quote-unquote progressive heavyweight champions are now applauding stupidity. Brilliant move, Democrats. Once again, you crap the bed, and progressives that once were respected are eating it up.